guys, welcome to another episode of the Zeelicious cooking series. I'm super duper excited about this video because I get to share with you all of my favorite kitchen appliances and utensils that make life in the kitchen feel like a walk in the park. I'll be sharing with you the names of this equipment and utensils and also their uses and benefits and where you can purchase yours from. Let's get into it, shall we? But hold on, before we get into it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, join the family and like this video after watching it because I always love to see all of your likes. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below if you have something nice to say or if you want to criticize me constructively. That also is highly appreciated here, okay? All right, guys, let's get right into this action, shall we? So I'm going to divide all of my favorite things to use in the kitchen into two different groups. So I'm talking about the kitchen appliances and the kitchen utensils. I've been naming all of them for you. I don't even know why I'm so excited about this though. Like, it's just giving me all the chills that I get to finally share with you guys all the things that I absolutely love in my kitchen. These things are things that will be very useful if you decide to own them, and I think they will make your life in the kitchen super duper easy. So I'll start with the first part, which is the kitchen appliances or the kitchen equipment. And the number one on my list, the absolute bestest favorite of mine, I've had this for over 6 years. It has never failed me. It doesn't fail, and it continues to be my favorite kitchen appliance. Is definitely my food processor. Now, this food processor has made life in the kitchen literally feel like a walk in the park. I use it for so many things, from chopping up my veggies, the onions, the peppers, the tomatoes, and whatnot, to actually processing things like cocoyam. Instead of using the mortar and pestle, I use my food processor, to making my banga soup, to making the extract that I use in making the banga soup. The food processor comes in handy. It also performs so many other functions, and it also helps me mix up all of my baking ingredients when I do, because sometimes I don't want to bring out my mixer. The food processor comes in handy for that. Like, all of that can be done in just one appliance. How awesome is that, guys? And now you know why it's my favorite. So the Kenwood brand, the Kenwood food processor that I have can perform about 28 functions, from chopping to shredding to pureeing. It also can help mix up things. There's so many other things it can do that I'm not even talking about. I don't even think I've explored all of the functions of the food processor, but the food processor is number one on my list, and it's definitely something that everyone should own in their kitchen. It makes life in the kitchen super duper easy and extremely fun. I'm the queen of fun and fast cooking, and there's a reason for that. The second appliance that I absolutely love is definitely a blender. A blender is something that everyone should have in their kitchen. Thankfully, there are inexpensive blenders, affordable ones, and the ones are high-end as well. You just need to have a blender in your life because it helps make things a whole lot easy, from pureeing your tomatoes and your peppers to blending your beans to making your smoothies. You can even make your fresh juices with your blender. There's so many things you can do with your blender, and it's one that I think that you should have. So there are two types of blenders now. There's the high-powered blender, which can literally blend stuff without you adding any form of liquid to it. And then there's, of course, the low-powered one, which you definitely have to add some liquid to the blender to help make the blending a whole lot easier. I'd advise that you go for the high-powered one. This Kenwood brand that I have as well is an amazing one. Other brands that I've used that I love are Philips. I've actually also used Philips, and I actually love the Philips blender because it actually helps me perform a whole lot of amazing functions like crushing ice, blending my beans, and whatnot. The Ninja blender is also a good one as well, even though I haven't tried it personally, but I know someone who has tried it, and I've actually tried it in their house, and it was superb. So yeah, those are the blender brands that I would recommend in this video. I'm going to put a link on where you can buy all of these things that I use in the description box, so do not forget that, okay? The third appliance that I own that I absolutely love is my juicer. Now, my juicer is a cold pressed juicer that helps me get out all of the yummy juice from my fruits and my vegetables. Now, you don't necessarily have to own a juicer to enjoy fresh juice. You can use your blender to make your juice, but the only thing is you are going to be diluting the concentrate of the juice if you use a blender. But the juicer just gives you all of the raw juices from the fruit and the vegetables, and that's why I love to use them. If you know me or if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm a big lover of fresh juice, and that's what I take most of the time. So having a juicer in my kitchen is one that I know that I cannot do without. So if you're a lover of juice, fresh juice, you definitely should invest in a juicer. Remember, the link to purchase will be in the description box down below, so be sure to check it out, okay? This fourth appliance is another absolute favorite of mine. It's my air fryer. Oh God, you guys do not know the amount of great stuff you can do with this air fryer. For me, the one reason that I had to get the air fryer was because I'm a big fan and a big believer in eating healthy. I had to cut down drastically on the amount of oil that I put in my body. So getting an air fryer was the perfect alternative to enjoying my fried foods without having to fry them in oil. Does that make sense? So think about everything that you usually fry in oil, you can achieve it in your air fryer. From yam chips to plantain, to your chicken, your turkey, your meat. You can even bake some of your baked goods in the air fryer as well. You can make your suya in the air fryer. You can make your moi moi in the air fryer. There's so many things. Just think. If you can think it, you can do it. Did you see what I did there? If you can think it, you can do it. Apply that to your life as well. Once you think it, you better go get doing it, okay? The next appliance is my Instant Pot. Now, I first discovered this Instant Pot from a very good friend of mine who also owns a YouTube channel. She used it, made amazing recipes with them, and I fell so deeply in love with it because of one of its functions. The one I have has about 7 functions, but the reason I love the Instant Pot so much is its pressure cook function. It has a pressure cook function that helps you cook your very hard stuff in in a snap, like that. It comes out really soft and tender, and that's why I love my Instant Pot. Of course, there are other functions. It steams, it sautés, it slow cooks. I think this one I have has about 7 functions. I remember I shared a video with you guys of the appliances that I just got from Amazon, and this was one of them. It has served its purpose. It's still serving its purpose, and I'm just excited that I have it. It's also a pretty appliance to just have sitting around, and when people come, it just helps with the aesthetics of your kitchen. Makes it look super pretty. Do you understand me? Yeah, that's another favorite of mine. This next one, it made the favorite list because once in a while it comes in handy, especially when I want to cream my sugar and my butter without having to go through the stress. Of course, you should already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my hand mixer. It's also a stand mixer. It's a Kenwood brand as well. I've had this brand for over, I think, 6 years. I got it with the food processor and the old Kenwood blender that I had. So this one has lasted for 6 years, and it comes in really handy, like I said, when I want to cream my sugar and butter. And I think that's the only thing I use it for. But trust me, you would enjoy its function when it comes to that creaming. And of course, you can use it for any other mixing you want to do when you're baking a cake or whatever it is you're making. And then it's perfect when you want to incorporate some air into your moi moi or your akara batter. This hand mixer is a must-have in your kitchen. So that's why it made it into my favorite list. Yeah. The next appliance on my favorite list is my bread toaster. I have 2 types. Now this one just toasts the bread up. This other one toasts the bread. It also is a waffle. It doubles as a waffle maker. It also doubles as a panini maker. So it's like a 3-in-1. This is also a Kenwood brand that I have had for over 6 years and it's still functioning at maximum capacity. So yeah, I'm a lover of whenever I want to eat bread, like anytime I must eat bread, I have to go all out and make it tasty, at least to an extent. So I always enjoy toasted bread sandwich and stuff. So, and that's why I love to have the the bread toaster made it to my favorite list. Now, there's an alternative way to toast your bread if you don't have any of these appliances. You can use your pan. Just place the pan on the stove top and just apply some butter or oil on the surface of the bread and just put it in there, pan-sear for a few minutes until it's brown, then flip and pan-sear again, and boom, you have toasted bread. But the appliances just makes life a whole lot easier. So why go through all that stress of pan-searing when I can use an appliance? Do you get it? Yeah. Okay, so that concludes the first part of my favorite appliances. If you have any favorite appliance that you think I should have in my kitchen, or you think I should love or I should put in my favorite list, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'm actually always on the move and ready to explore with new appliances just so that I can make my life a whole lot easier. Remember that I'm an effective person. If you've not watched the video of the the habits of highly effective people that I posted some time ago, I think last week on the channel, you better go watch it, because I am an effective person and I love to do effective things. So anything that makes my life faster is a yes in my kitchen. So please give me all of your suggestions. I would really love to hear them all, okay? So moving right along to the second part, which is my favorite kitchen utensils. The very first item that made it to this list is, drum roll please, my storage jars and spice containers. I'm such an organizing freak. Like, I love to organize my stuff. And the jars and containers just makes things super duper easy. From the mason jars to the dry food jars to the spice containers, it makes my life a whole lot easier. It makes it super duper easy for me to quickly grab something I need whenever I want to make a meal. So I just quickly grab, because I know exactly where everything is. I just display them neatly in my pantry, and then I also label them. That's another tip that I would share. I also label them so that I know what is what. It just makes life easy, guys. It makes life easy. It prevents clutter. It just, I don't know, for me, it's just like, I don't know what I'll do without storage jars or spice containers. I don't know what I'll do without them. Again, I'm going to put a link in the description box below on all of these jars and containers that you're seeing, where I got them from, and where you can get them from as well. You definitely need it in your life. It's something that I very highly recommend for all of you, okay? The next items on this favorite list are my chef's knife and my chopping board. You guys, these are two kitchen utensils that you definitely need to arm yourself with. Enough with cutting stuff with your hand and without a chopping board, because chopping board makes it a whole lot faster. And having a sharp chef's knife is just the regular knife. There are different types of knives. There's a paring knife, there's a serrated knife, there's a chef's knife, there are other ones, the long ones, the short ones, different types. But the one that has a multi-purpose function is the chef's knife. And having your chef's knives always, your chef's knife always sharp is highly important, because it's safer to have a sharp knife than it is to have a blunt knife, right? So my chef's knife and my chopping board had to make it to this list, because I don't know what I'll do without both of them. Like, match made in heaven. You guys, just try chopping up your fruits and your veggies or other ingredients with your knife and chopping board and see how easy it is. It makes life easy, I promise you. The next item on this list are my mixing bowls. So mixing bowls are very convenient and come in very handy in the kitchen when you're cooking, when you want to wash something, you want to mix something up in a bowl, you want to just keep something for a while before you have to cook with it. It comes in super handy, and I love these glass mixing bowls that I have. I also have the plastic ones as well. I have a mix and match of both. Also makes your kitchen look pretty, if you know what I mean. So using mixing bowls or having mixing bowls is something that I also would highly recommend that you have in your kitchen. Yeah, my absolute favorite. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna deny that. I won't deny that. I love my mixing bowls. They make me so happy. So the next, I'll call it a category of items, are spoons. So now the spoons range from cooking spoons to your tongs, your cooking tongs, to your spider or spiralized spatula, to your ice cream scoop, to your slotted spoons, to your soup spoons, to your ladle, there's so many types of spoons that come in super duper handy. I'm going to try and do like a graph of the different spoons and what they're used for. But the ones that I really love so much are the cooking spoons. I have them in wooden form and I also have them in plastic form. I know people have concerns about having their cooking spoons in plastic form. They are actually cooking spoons that are made with good plastic, and you can actually use them to cook without having the plastic debris go into your food. So yeah, plastic spoons, wooden spoons. The next favorite of mine is my cooking tongue. Now, cooking tongue makes frying easy. It makes mixing stuff, like mixing your pasta in a pot, a whole lot easy. Cooking tongue is just, for me, it's heavenly. It makes picking things from your food a whole lot easy. Like, instead of using your hand or using a spoon, a cooking tongue just picks it up and clenches to it, and it's easy for you to just maneuver with the cooking tongue. Another one is this frying spatula. I think it's called the spider spatula or spiralized spatula. I'm not sure what it's called. It's also comes in handy when you're frying or when you want to pick a lot of things from a lot of liquid, in the liquid content, and you just don't want to take the liquid and you just want to grab the things inside the liquid. So whether it's liquid or it's oil or whatever it is, it comes in very handy to pick up stuff. Another spoon I like is this spoon that has claws. It has like the teeth of I don't know what it's called, the teeth of a whale. That's what I like to describe it as. It's perfect for when you want to pick out things like noodles from your pot or pasta from your pot. So instead of struggling using a spoon, you can use that to make your life a whole lot easy. The ice cream scoop also comes in handy when you're making ice cream or when you want to make a smoothie bowl. Which other one do I like? I also love the ladle. The ladle comes in handy too. And then the slotted spoon also performs the same function as the spiralized spatula. Spiralized spatula. No, what's that thing called? Spiralized what? Spider what? Oh no, not spiralized spatula. I'm talking about the spider sieve. I think that's what it's called. Spider sieve. Yes, spider sieve. The sieve. Yes, that's the one that you use for frying. So pardon me. Pardon what I said before. Okay? Yeah, so I love that very much as well. And then my spatulas come in handy when I want to bake stuff, when I want to literally scrape things off from the bowl without leaving any remnants. Because there's no waste in my kitchen, guys. You guys already know that. So the spatula comes in handy. Just scrape it all up like, You get the drift, right? You guys know that this list is not going to be complete without mentioning pots and pans. Because I mean, how do you cook without your pots and pans anyways? So my pots and my pans are also, I think they should have made it to the top of this list. Because I mean, it's impossible for you to cook without pots and pans. I have different collections, from my sauté pan, to my saucepan, to my stock pots, to my frying pans, I have big pots, I have small pots, I have this particular one that I love to use for jollof rice. So I have different kinds of pans that perform different purposes Don't just buy pans that do not, just for buying sake. Remember that there are different types of pans. There's a sauté pan for making all of your stir fries and your sauces and whatnot. There is a sauce pot you can use to make your sauce. You can use to make your oatmeal porridge. There is a stock pot you can use to make all of your vegetable stock, your chicken stock, your fish stock. Your frying pan, of course, is definitely used for frying. And then you have your big pots that you use to simmer things, to boil things like your rice and your beans. So different pots and pans have different functions. And I always try to ensure that all of the pots and pans that I buy have tightly fitted lids. Sometimes the frying pans don't come with a lid, but what I notice is when you buy a set of pan, the biggest pot in that set would usually always cover the frying pan. So that's another way. So just in case you want to make a casserole over the stove top, or you want to make a frittata without using the oven, you can always use the fitted lid from the biggest pot and just use it to cover the frying pan. I notice that it always sits perfectly. So pots and pans made it to the list. Again, I know that a lot of people usually ask me, Winnie, where did you get your pots from? Winnie, where did you get your pots from? I'm going to link all of that in the description box, at least to the ones that I know that you guys can get online. There are some that I just got from shops and I doubt that they deliver and stuff. So I'll just leave the ones that I know you guys can easily purchase online, okay? The next one on my list is my vegetable peeler. Now this one may seem like, oh, it's an insignificant utensil, but I tell you guys, like when I discovered the vegetable peeler and what it does, like I'm like, where have you been all my life? Literally, that's what I said to myself. When you're scraping your carrots and your potatoes, or you want to scrape out the dirt from any vegetable, the vegetable peeler literally comes in handy. Shh, 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 shh. That's all you do, and you get all of the skin off. People say, oh, you get to lose some flesh. I don't think so. And even if I lose flesh, it's worth it. It's okay. The flesh that I lose is not what's going to make me lose the entire thing. So if I'm going to save myself stress and lose some flesh from the vegetable, it's fine as well. But if you do it carefully, you will not lose any flesh. So invest in a good vegetable peeler. Remember, the link is below on how to get one, okay? A splatter guard is something that you definitely should own in your kitchen as well. You know, when you're boiling tomatoes or when you're boiling something just everywhere, it can be very irritating and annoying. And for someone like me who hates stuff touching my stove top, like, oh, it literally drives me crazy when I see food touch my stove top when I'm cooking. Like I have to stop the cooking, clean out the stove top before I continue. That's how crazy it drives me. So having a splatter guard was something that I had to invest in. Splatter guards are very, very, very inexpensive, but trust me, they make your life a whole lot easy. A whole lot easy, I promise you. The next item on my favorite list are my dishwares, ranging from my casserole dish to my pie pans to my ramekin dishes to serving dishes, and I love to ensure that I have all of these dishwares handy. When I want to make a casserole, I have a casserole dish. When I want to make a pie, I have a pie dish. When I want to bake, I also invest in baking tins as well. Different types. I have the round baking pan. I have the one you use in making bread. I have the different ones that I have, and I also just recommend that you should have that handy. You can have a few of each, so that whenever I promise you guys, having these things handy actually helps to spark up your creativity, and having them, you would always feel like wanting to experiment and cook and do something new and try something new. You get discouraged when you don't have it. So, and these things, again, like I said, are very inexpensive, are things that you should definitely have handy in your kitchen. So invest in them. They don't cost so much and make life a breeze, okay? Okay, so we're almost done with the list. The next one is my ice cube trays. Whew. Many of you do not know this, but I'm a lover of ice. I literally will go to the freezer, pick ice, put it in my mouth, chew it, crumble it up, and have a good time. Taste divine. People think I'm weird and crazy, but if you love ice like me, please let me know that I'm not alone. Kindly Kindly comment down below so that I know, okay? But ice cube trays actually come in handy, even if you don't want to have your ice, the cubes as just a snack, come in handy for when, for example, you want a quick cold drink. You can just pour yourself a drink and pour the ice in there. You want to make a smoothie, you can put it in there. So many reasons why you should have an ice cube tray. Again, they're pretty inexpensive. Some modern day refrigerators come with the ice maker, so you may not necessarily need to buy an ice cube tray. Mine doesn't come with one, so I still have to invest in the ice cube trays, and I have mine are just plastic, like inexpensive plastic ice cube trays. They cost, I think the white one that I have actually cost me about, I think it was 500 naira or so. That's literally about $1. The next item on this list cannot be complete without this item. It's called the kitchen shears, or it's also called scissors, like kitchen scissors. You guys, if you don't have a scissors in your kitchen, you are definitely doing it all wrong. Scissors makes everything okay, makes it all okay. You can cut up your meat with the scissors, with the kitchen scissors. You can easily open packs and things, and sort of struggling with things. Just use the scissors and just, do you get it? You can cut off excess dough with your scissors. You can cut off your pasta, your cooked pasta with your scissors in case you don't want them so long. There's so many things you can do with your scissors, so invest in a good scissors, okay? And that's my kitchen scissors right there, guys. I actually have about 2 or 3 kitchen scissors, whatever. But that's my favorite one. And it comes in very handy by just sticking it on the fridge. So I just take it out, use it, and put it right back. Easy peasy. The final item on my list. Remember, this is just my favorite list. I have other utensils. Before you say Winifred just has only these things in her kitchen, I have other utensils, but these ones are my absolute favorites. The final on this list, and I had to add these ones, I grouped them together. So the parchment paper, the foil paper, and then my napkins. The parchment paper I use mostly for baking, or I lay it on my oven tray when I don't want things to spill. Same with the foil. I also use the foil to trap stuff, to trap steam in my pots. I use it to wrap things. And I also didn't mention the freezer bags. So the Ziploc bags are used to preserve things in the freezer. They're also a favorite for me because I actually use them quite often. So yeah, I just categorize all of those into one. So investing in aluminum foil papers, parchment papers, freezer bags, and kitchen napkins, paper towels. You can, if you don't want to buy the clothes, you can buy the paper towels. They come in very, very handy as well. And that's it, guys. That's all the items in my kitchen utensils favorite list. What am I missing out? What do you guys think that Winifred you absolutely need and you don't have? Please let me know in the comment section. I really am all about having these things to make my life a lot easier. Remember that all of the links to every item I mentioned today will be in the description box down below, so you can easily purchase it for yourself and start using it in your house. And guess what, guys? We will be twinning, because you'll be using all the things that I am using in my kitchen, in your house. How awesome is that? You can say, oh, Winifred, I have your pots now. I have your spoons now. I have your jars now. That'll be so cool. Alright guys, I'll see you next time with another mouth-watering recipe or another episode of the Zeelicious cooking series. Until then, remember to be very kind to one another. Love yourselves generously, and it's me, the Queen of Fun and Fast Cooking, signing out right now. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you all. Take care.